So, edible story. This was back in college. It was almost time for winter break, and I was just swiping right, chilling, on Tinder, just trying to find, just I don't even know what I was looking for. I mean, I know I wanted a relationship, but I mean, likelihood of me finding one at that time was not high. College, yeah, everybody just wants to, it is what it is. So yeah, I was, just swiping right. I swiped right on this woman, and she looked good, obviously, and we was talking about, how we was gonna meet or go on a first date or whatever. So, excuse me, I would tell her that, I still, my mom's house is still in Hampton. I see you stay in Hampton, and we can link up, one of these days. I drive, and she said she drives. Like, okay, cool. So I tell her, like, I'll come home this weekend if you want me to. And she said, yeah, let's do it. Let's go see a movie or something. I'm like, bet. So I go home, and then I'm like, I'm back in Hampton. Send me your address. I'm gonna take a shower or whatever, and whenever you're ready, I'll come by and pick you up. She said okay. She sent me the address, and I was like, you stay less than a minute away from me, you know that, right? And she was like, huh? And I was like, yeah, you stay like literally less than I can walk to your house from mine, and I'll be there in like 3 minutes. Like, what? But she was like, I didn't know that. So when I went to go pick her up, it was at the house that was literally right up the street. And I'm like, did you go to Hampton? Like our high school, Hampton High School? She said, yeah. And I'm like, how? I don't, like, all 4 years? Like, how? I never noticed you. Like, I didn't know you lived here. You know what I'm saying? But we went on this, literally the same bus route, like, from school, like, same everything. So, like, okay. But anyway, I picked her up. I think I went inside her house, like, just to pick her up or something. Oh no, her was it her mom or her grandma? I don't know, one of them two. She said she wanted to meet me, just to see who she's gonna go out with. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, that's fine. I don't have a problem meeting anybody. It's whatever. So she was like, take care of my daughter or granddaughter, one of the two, something like that. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. I'm of course I'm going to, like, that's, you should have no concerns with that. We're gonna have a safe time, bring her back home, it's all good. So we get in the car, and she's like, I made some brownies. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, that's awesome, like, I didn't know you bake. And she was like, yeah, I made some brownies, and these are some pretty special brownies. Like, she said it like that, and I'm thinking, like, okay, she's trying to flirt, like, she's trying to, as long as saying make some special brownies for me, that's sweet, that's nice. Wasn't even expecting that. So my dumb ass, I'm like, yeah, let me get some. Like, let me get some. And she was like, yeah, sure. She gave me one. We were sitting in the car at that time, because the movie that we were going to see didn't even last for like, it didn't start until like another hour or something like that. So we were sitting in the car just chilling, and then I was eating them. I'm like, oh, these are fire, like, this brownie is fire. Like, what made you want to bake them or whatever? She's like, oh, I was just feeling bored or whatever. And then I'm like, can I get another one? And like, she brought like a bunch of like little ones, like this big, kind of sort, like, yeah, this big. And it was like, they were just so good. I remember eating them, like, just popping them like Tic Tacs, like, them shits was fire. And what happened after that? Yeah, so we ate them, and then we went to get our tickets, like, just to get our tickets or whatever. So we're at the ticket counter, and we push the button to, like, select where we're supposed to sit. And we end up going, like, I put the button that's like, I thought it was closest to the wall, but it was actually the front seat. So when we got inside, we literally were sitting in our seat, like, looking like this the whole time at at the movie. So we're sitting there like our neck is just broke at this point, and I remember halfway through the movie, I'm just we went to see The Boy, that movie The Boy, and halfway through the movie, I was just sitting there just like I was doing like this, like my hand was like just, you know how that effect like the hands are moving back and forth, like literally like how it looks in the camera right now. That's what it was doing in my like in real life, but I was moving it like that slow. Like that's how I was moving it, which is crazy. But yeah, so it was like halfway through the movie, I noticed it. I look over to her. She's like stuck, like she's done for. She was done for at that point. So yeah, so at that point, we were just sitting there watching the movie, and then the movie ends. And when the movie ends, I get up. The whole room was like just going in slow motion and spinning, and I'm like, ooh, whoa, like I'm thinking everyone's looking at me, but in reality, I think we were the last ones in the theater. After everything ended, I think we were the last ones in the theater. So I'm thinking everyone's looking at me. I'm thinking she looking at me like, you good? Like, yeah, I'm good. Are you good? And she said, yeah. And then she just goes back to doing her own thing. At that point, I was just like, okay, let me just like make it to the other side of the theater so we can go to the exit, get out of here. So we get there, back to the back outside or whatever, and it's like, I think that was like the last movie. I'm pretty sure it was, because we were the only ones there. Like we were like one of the only people left at the whole movie theater. Like the parking lot was just almost empty. So I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, like what the fuck? But we walk it off a little bit, and I felt good after that. Like I did the thing with my hand. It looks like it does now, normal. Like, you know. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm good to drive and all that stuff. And when I took her back, when I took her back to her house, she was like, I had a good time with you, things like that, blah blah blah. Let me know when you get home safe. I'm like, yeah, it's right up the street. But I told her that, but it's just like, you know, I wasn't going home. I didn't feel like I should go home. So basically, I ended up going back to school, back to campus. And when I went back to campus, I saw at the time I saw like a brownie in my car. Me being a dumbass, not thinking that I just ate some. Okay, me being a dumbass, not thinking. I was like, "Oh, a brownie! Like, when did I leave one of these in here?" I thought I left, because when I was in college, I went to the campus store and I bought like the little brownies that came in like plastic, and hers came in a plastic wrap too. So I'm thinking it was one of those. I was like, "Oh shit!" So I'm just sitting there. I ate it, whatever. And I'm just like, just changing the music on my phone. I was just like, you know, just chilling in the parking lot at that point. I'm like, I'm really hungry. I'm about to go get some food. Like, I was starving. So so I get out the car, I drop my stuff off back in my room, and I walk to Cane's. And when I walked to Cane's, like basically from my dorm to Cane's was I'd probably say like maybe like a 10-15 minute ish walk. Yeah, so walking to Cane's, because the only thing that was open at that time of night was Cane's and Denny's at the time. So I didn't want Denny's, so I wanted to get Cane's. So I got Cane's, and I remember the cashier lady asking me like what I wanted to eat. And mind you, the line is long, because like I said, it's only two things open right now. It's either Cane's or Denny's, and the line is crazy. And she asked me what I want to eat, and I'm like, I remember, I get the same thing every time at Cane's. I get the number one, the I think it was a 3 or 4 finger combo, something like that, with like the I substitute the coleslaw for extra fries, or no, not yeah. Sometimes extra fries, sometimes the Texas toast or whatever, whichever one. But yeah. So I did that. I was doing that. I wanted to say that, but I couldn't get it out. And then I'm thinking like, damn, like I feel like I'm high still. Like I feel like I ate another brownie, and I'm thinking to myself again. I'm like, that was not one of the campus brownies. And I was just sitting there. When I came to that realization, I started smiling. Like literally, I'm still talking to the cashier, by the way. I started smiling like right in front of her face, and she was just like, come on, like we got people, like, you know what I'm saying, like she was trying to hurry me up, like and I'm just sitting there smiling at her like when she asked me how am I gonna pay, right? And I didn't have any money. Well, I did have money, but I didn't want to use my money. I wanted to use my campus I forgot what it was called. I think it was Flex Points or something. I don't know. But yeah, Flex Points, and like you can spend that money like at some dining areas or whatever. So yeah, I was trying to get out my card, and I couldn't get it out my wallet. Like I was just literally, that's how, like, you know, stuck I was. I was just sitting there like just trying it so hard to get it out. It was crazy. And she you know, she said, just give me your student ID number, and I read it to her, and that's how she did it. I'm pretty sure she knew that I was, you know, high, but yeah. And I got my food, and let me tell you, that Cane's never tasted so good in my life. I promise that Cane's tasted so good that night. I literally just sat there in the not in the car, in the like there was a little outside part where the benches were, and then there was like a campus store right beside it, but they were closed. So whenever they're closed, they had like just the benches over there just to sit if you know, want to eat in or whatever. So yeah, I sat there, I ate my food. It was delicious. I remember that it was delicious so much, and like I remember so much that it was delicious. That's what I meant. But like the walk back to my dorm was just like, yo, I just ate some good food. I'm feeling great. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I went back to my dorm, and I remember turning on the game to play Madden, and then I just played the game until I was just knocked out, and that was my night. That was my story. And after that, I never did it again. Hey, thanks for watching. Drop a like below, and if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe already. If you do, I'd really appreciate it.